You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Unstoppable Actors. I'm so glad you are here, because today I want to explore how you can get your acting career back on track in 2 very easy steps that do not feel overwhelming, that feel so doable for you. This episode is for those of you who have probably fallen off the wagon a little bit with your acting career and you just want more than anything to get it back on track, but you've kind of lost the motivation and you're struggling to even take that first action step. I have got you covered. Now, if you're not feeling like that, I still recommend you listen to this episode, because motivation is something that is fleeting. It's not something that we have all of the time. Even those actors right at the top of the game will have lost motivation from time to time with their career. And there's countless stories out there of actors who were literally on the edge of giving up, and then things just fell into place for them and they got their breakthrough. And I really want to help you get towards your breakthrough as well, because it is possible, it is doable, no matter what level you're at. So as I said, even if you're not feeling like you've lost motivation, there will be times when you will, and you can learn from this episode and you can be prepared for when those moments do happen. Before I get into the juice of the episode, I want to let you know that I have something that can help you with your acting career. So if you've ever wondered, how do I turn acting into a living like other actors? How do I give consistently explosive performances and not be hit and miss? Because, there are some characters that you just can't quite catch, that leave you in your head guessing, overthinking, getting all caught up in a tangle with. And if you've thought, how do I move my audiences so deeply that I can build my credits up enough to eventually leave the 9 to 5? Then the Method Actors Circle is for you. This is your exit plan from your 9 to 5 job, and I am inviting you to try it for 1 month for £1. So we've got a trial offer on, and I would love to coach you inside there in our audition classes, our character development classes, our Hook Agents workshops, and all of the juice we've got going on. And I would love you to join our incredibly supportive community of other actors who are on a similar journey to you, so you can accelerate your acting career. So to get the 1 month, £1 trial offer, you just need to use the discount code MAC1. MAC stands for Method Actor Circle, and then it's 1, the number. And the link is bit.ly/the Method Actor Circle. Simply just type that into Google, or I've left the link in the description for you. You can try it for a month, see the progress you make, and start to see big changes happening in your acting career. So let's get into the episode then. It can be incredibly disheartening when you feel like you are, or you feel like you have in the past put lots of effort into your acting goals and you haven't seen much return. So in this episode, I want to inspire you. I want to inspire you to find that laser focus to help you stay on top of your acting goals and see them through and see the needle shift. And you really don't need to be doing very much. Sometimes when we start to lack motivation, or we start dipping out of the acting industry, we think, oh God, to get back into it, it's going to be so overwhelming, there's loads I have to do. And really there isn't. Now, last week I popped a survey into our Unstoppable Actors group, and, well, it wasn't a survey, it was a poll. I basically said, if you could take a guess as to why your acting career either A, isn't gaining the momentum you really want, or B, isn't getting you cast in bigger roles, what would you guess is going on? And he gave them 4 options. And the options were, number 1 is because my mind keeps getting in the way, which got a 20% vote. Or number 2, my talent isn't quite there yet, which got a 10% vote. Or 3, I'm not making it a priority to be an active participant in the acting industry, which again took up 20% of the vote. Or number 4, a combination of the above, which got 50% of the vote. After I'd done that, I felt quite sad actually for a lot of these actors, because I know that the power is in their own hands and yet they've lost it. So when we're not seeing the rewards for our efforts, it can be so easy to start doing less in our acting career. And before we know it, we've got in a comfort zone and we're not doing anything, if very, very little. And then when we try to get back into the industry, we don't really have the evidence to suggest that anything rewarding is going to come from our efforts. And so we lack motivation. Even though we know in our heart of hearts, we would love nothing more than to be waking up on a Monday morning to travel to that set, to work with that director you really want to work with. But we just can't muster the energy in the way that we used to. This is normal. This is normal, but we've got to get on top of it. So what's happening here is, if you're experiencing this, or should you experience this in the future, your emotions are taking you down a straight path. And so all we've got to do is guide them back onto the path that we want them to go down. So as I said at the beginning of this episode, motivation is fleeting. It's not always going to be there. But that is really good news, because it doesn't need to always be there, because you are an autonomous human with choice, and you can choose how to respond to this quiet period in your acting career, and you can choose how to respond to that motivation that seems to have took off. So as I've said, this episode is for those actors who want to connect back to their discipline and they want to get out of the mud and start making things happen. You do not need me to tell you that acting is an effort-based career, but it doesn't have to feel hard. We just have to take one small action step to get us back on track. So I'm going to share a story with you. This was when I was 14 years old. I was getting bullied really badly at school, and it was absolutely horrendous. It made me feel worthless inside, is the only way I can describe it, really. And I was brought up in a council estate, and I wanted nothing more than to get away from that council estate that I was brought up on, because I didn't feel like I belonged there. I just felt very different from everyone else, and the bullying just made it even worse. At this point, I had no intention to become an actor. Acting wasn't even on my radar. I was very, very shy. The bullying had literally depleted me of my personality and my energy, and I was literally a shell of myself. I was so shy and so unconfident. But anyway, I went to the cinema. Some of you will know this story if you've been following Standby and me for a very long time. But I went to the cinema to see Titanic, and me and my friends were a bit obsessed with it, and we saw it 5 whole times. Yes, you have heard that right, 5 whole times. Anyway, on the 5th time of seeing Titanic, and it was literally, I can remember the exact point in the film, it was when the boat was going down. Sorry for those of you that have not seen it, spoiler. I got this feeling, and this sort of just this feeling that I needed to pursue acting, that it was going to be my career. That surprised me as much as it surprised everyone else. But I followed that feeling nonetheless. It was a bit of a spiritual experience as I'm thinking back and reflecting on it, because I knew it didn't come from me, because as I said, acting wasn't on my radar. But I followed it, and people laughed at me and absolutely took the piss out of me. But the more I was bullied, the more people laughed at me, the more those girls wrote horrible things about me in the maths books, the more they called me names, the more focused I got. And an acting career, even though I knew absolutely nothing about an acting career, I had no idea how I was going to make this happen, and I didn't know what the process was, but an acting career was my ticket, my golden ticket out of this hellhole. And I wanted a better life. Even at 14 years old, I knew I wanted a better life. And then if I fast forward to a few years ago, when I relaunched my acting career, I was experiencing something very horrible again. And I was getting bullied again, but in a very different way with much higher stakes, even though, we can't really pitch both experiences against each other. They were both horrendous nonetheless. But this second time when I was experiencing something very, very horrendous, in my head, well, in fact, both times, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, I thought, F you. So the first time when I was getting bullied when I was 14, I thought, F you, like, I'm doing this. And then the second time, just before I'd relaunched my acting career, I thought, F you, this is my time. Like, I deserve this. And so what I learned from both these experiences, even though the first one I'd not been in the acting industry prior to getting bullied, this was me being brand new to acting. The second time I was being bullied, I had an acting career before that, and then I'd left it. But then this time I was like, no, I'm going to come back in. So I did have knowledge about the acting industry. But both times, what I've realised is I'm resilient. I am bloody resilient, and I can get very focused when my back's up against the wall. And I've also learned that I tend to alchemize crappy experiences and turn them into something better, because deep down in my heart of hearts, I know I deserve better. And I'm sharing this with you because you deserve better as well. You deserve better for yourself. So if you are currently losing motivation, or you have lost it, or your acting career's dried up and you are banging your head against a brick wall, I want to ask you firstly, what is the big thing that's driving you? And it has to be something that is firing you up emotionally or will fire you up emotionally. It's usually that we are either moving away from something or towards something. So that's the second thing I want you to do. I want you to identify which one it is. Are you moving away from something? So in my case, I was moving away from the bullying. That was driving me more than the acting career itself, even though I was moving towards that. Or are you moving towards something? So it might not just be the acting career. It might be there's a specific director you want to work with, and that is really getting you emotionally fired up. So, for example, are you motivated by your kids? Are you motivated by that toxic person at work? Is it a family member that's really motivating you because they keep pecking your head? You really do have to find that version of F you that I had twice. So next, I want you to recognise some qualities in yourself. And as you heard me say, I've learned that I'm resilient, and I've learned that I can alchemize really crappy experiences. So what are your qualities? And these should be based on past experiences that show you that you are these things, so they're evidence. Because the thing you need to know is that an acting career, having a successful acting career and seeing your goals through to the end and achieving them, is 80% about your mindset. There are people out there in the industry with way less talent than you experiencing success because they are staying consistent even when it gets tough. And they are constantly reminding themselves of what motivates them. So once you have found that fire in your belly again, with the 2 steps that I've just given you, I want you to carve out 15 minutes to look for auditions. And that's it. You don't need to do any more than that. The very act of doing that will help you feel good again. And you are positively reinforcing that this is doable. And I want to help you with this. So I've put together a guide of where you can find your next acting role. And in it, I've listed all of the places and all of the things you can do to find auditions beyond the usual casting sites. And I am giving this away to everyone who comes and joins the Method Actor Circle, which is a really supportive place for you to delve into audition classes and to delve into character development classes and the Hook Agents workshops, and to be surrounded by other actors who will uplift you and keep you in the loop in the industry. And the exciting thing is, we've got a 1 month for £1 trial offer on, because I'm so committed to you breaking free from your 9 to 5 and making this a paying career. So that discount code to get 1 month for £1 is MAC1, the number 1, and the link is bit.ly/the Method Actors Circle. Either type that into Google or click the link in the description that I've left for you. Just come and try it and see how much progress you make with your acting career. You will absolutely astound yourself. There's a library full of pre-recorded classes that you can dive into straight away, and then there's also upcoming live classes as well. So there's a combination of live classes and pre-recorded classes, and you've got that supportive community. I promise you, you will get things back on track. And for £1, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? So that link again is bit.ly/the Method Actors Circle, or simply click it in the description. And I hope you found this inspiring. I hope you found it insightful and it's helped you release some of the stuff that is weighing you down. I'll see you again soon. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.